First, take a look at our main electrical panel. Make sure that we do have a main breaker in there. We will open this up. We want to make sure we don't have any heat spots or anything going on, which is not good for the electrical system. So now that we have it open, main part where we really like to look for heat is up here underneath the main breaker. Those are the bolts bringing power down through everything. Make sure those are nice and tight. You can give this a little shake. Also pull on your wire a little bit, just make sure everything is tight and connected all the way through. After that, I do like to go through, make sure all of our breakers are seated properly as we go down the electrical panel. And then also take a look, down at the bottom of the bus bar, making sure we're having the same color as what we have on top. That way we know everything through here is good. Next thing I like to take a look at is if we do have a backup power source, like a generator ATS. What this does is in the event you lose power from your utility, the generator will automatically kick on, and then this panel here actually provides power back into the house. So here we do have the main shut-off switch there. That is directly from utility. Then in here, another thing we like to look at, make sure all this nice stuff is tied in together. It's in good shape, nothing loose. Loose connections are not good. And check it again for heat, make sure everything's looking good. Take a look underneath here, make sure everything there is nice and tight and good to go. From there, the next step, while we still have everything open, most important part when we are having storms come through Houston is our grounding, making sure all of that's nice and tight and good to go. So here you notice we have our main ground wire, which comes down to right here. This is our ground rod. I like to give these a little tug on them, shake them back and forth, make sure we're staying nice and in the ground. And then from there, I will go off of that and we're gonna make sure that this is tightened down all the way and good to go. So we'll get this on here, make sure we can't get any movement out of there. And then we'll also grab this wire and nothing's moving from there. So being a copper ground rod, we know we're grounded correctly. We're in good shape. And then from there on it, we have, good on the interiors. We have an awesome backup power source. Next thing is our surge protector, which is right here. This is the Ultra Surge Protector. It's the biggest one you can get. And down here, there's 2 indicator lights. We want to make sure both of those are on at all times. That means our entire home is protected should anything happen. This is a special instance where we are going to have a sub panel over here. We're going to go through, do the same check, and make sure everything looks good on the inside of this as well. All right, so same type of testing we were doing on the other side. We want to make sure all of these are nice and tight, secured correctly, no loose connections on it. This one, being a sub panel, we don't have those big main breaker bolts, so we want to take a look at these lugs here, make sure that those aren't coming off, becoming separated. Then we'll take a look at the bus bar starting here and how it's finishing, and then make sure all of this stuff is put on correctly and that over here our grounding from inside here is done correctly, which in this case it is, and this home is ready for Houston storms this hurricane season. So now we're done looking at the sub panel. Another thing that we do like to go back to, just make sure everybody's good on it. So with the grounding that we were talking about, if you want to get close and see the difference on this real quick. So you see here we do have a solid copper core. If we take a look at this was one that was here previous before we began work. If you come around over on this side and you look down here at the base, so this is a galvanized steel ground rod. They have, studies were done, 8 to 13 year lifespan, which isn't that long in terms of a home. This house was built 5 years ago, and already we're starting to rust out at the bottom. It's a much smaller diameter. When you don't have a proper grounding on the home, anytime you do have a big weather event, something in your house needs to turn off, a breaker needs to trip, and we're not grounded correctly, that can cause issues within the home, hazards within the home. We want a solid connection directly to the earth to make sure that our utility, our panel, and our home are all working in conjunction to make the home as safe as possible. These here, the copper rods, studies were done, they have a 30 to 40 lifespan. That's in Texas soil. So if it's in Texas soil, it can last anywhere. These copper rods are really good to go. After that, another thing as well, so we do have a backup power system here. This is Generac. The other thing, if you don't have space for a generator, maybe you're in a townhome, have to put it on the roof, cranes get involved, or no natural gas, there are other options. A lot of times what we do, if there is not going to be, not the ability for a generator, can't get approved through HOA, is we'll do what's called the generator interlock kit. So let me put this panel cover back on real quick. I'll show you one of those and how that looks. So now that we're all finished up on our Cat 5 inspection on the home, in this instance, we're ready to go on all of that. One thing we want to make sure is that whether you're having us come out or somebody else, you want to make sure that you have a licensed individual coming out. So here, these are our TDR licenses. This has taken me 10,000 hours to get. That's on the job working time, which is what qualifies me. I'm licensed and I'm insured by the state to be doing this. These are called your dead front covers. If we're trying to do anything DIY, we want to make sure to leave these on. Everything on the inside of that, it hurts really bad. So we don't want to get inside of those. So continuing through the home, we talked about surge protection outside, how that's a blanket coverage across the entire home. A lot of what surge protection does is we're protecting sensitive equipment. Anytime our utility loses power, anytime a big storm comes through, thunder cracks, those are all giant slams to the electrical system. Things like computers, phones, printers, all of those have sensitive electronics. When those slams come through, things get damaged. So what these do is they protect everything that's plugged into them. If you notice here on the other side of the chair, which will get moved out of the way, so down here we have what most people will have, their TVs, their printers, their computers plugged into. These are surge strips. These aren't inherently bad, but they don't protect a whole lot. So what we're doing today is we're gonna be adding in this outlet underneath here, so that way our homeowners, all their electronics here in their office is fully protected, and they don't have to worry about anything. So first thing we always wanna do when we're working on live electricity, if we're doing it, we are trained professionals. We still like to make it home every day. We do turn the power off. So we're gonna plug this in here. You do see we have power at 123 volts. So we're gonna go ahead and plug that in real quick, and we're gonna turn the power off. So there we go, and our power is now turned off. Now we're gonna go ahead, and we're gonna get this outlet put in. So we'll go ahead, we'll get the outlet taken out of the wall. We're gonna get some fresh connections on our wire. We wanna make sure that everything is solid and fully connected to our protection. First thing, we always wanna make sure to connect our ground first. So we'll go ahead and put that in, and we'll get this tightened down. Next up is our return wire, which is this here. These are awesome devices. They have compression plates, so you can actually mechanically torque them down for solid connections. Get that in, make sure to give that a pull, and make sure we're all the way in on there. And we'll get this one put in here. All right, make sure we're good there as well, which we are. So we're gonna go ahead and get this put back into the wall. All right, and then we'll need to make sure we add a cover plate. So you will notice it is a little bit different, so we do need a different cover plate. And there we go, that is a fully surge protected outlet. And then I'm gonna go turn on the breaker and I'll be right back. All right, so now our power is back on. We're back at 123 volts. Now, cool thing you'll see with these, you see the green light here? That's letting you know we're on and protected. Over on this side, so it's upside down, this says alarm off. So if we turn that down, if your home does experience a surge, this device won't make a noise. We're gonna leave that up, so that way our homeowner knows if they take a surge, they have it here. One of the hardest claims to make with insurance is proving surge events happen. So our warranties on our surge protectors, your homeowner's insurance, anything like that, they need to know for sure you had a surge. That's what these are also doing, as well as protecting everything else in the home. Now that we're finished up with this install, we're gonna go ahead and pick up all of our tools, and then we're gonna go through, vacuum the area, and make sure that we leave this home as beautiful as we found it. So just like we've gone over with our electrical panel, and then inside of our office as well, one of the final layers of surge protection for a home to make sure our complete system is covered is our HVAC units. Now I'm an electrician. I'm not gonna sit here and talk to you about your actual AC unit, but the power coming into it, we deal with this every day. We have surges, items on these get damaged. I have to call our AC department out, and it turns into a big headache versus getting things taken care of from the get-go. Prevents those issues from happening. And for whatever reason, if we do have an issue, once we have proof with our outlet inside we did have a surge, these do come with a monetized guarantee. And that guarantee will actually help cover the cost of a unit should one be damaged in a surge. So first things, we've already turned off power at the breaker. That is on the other side of the home, and it is a little too hot to be running today. But we're gonna lift this up. This is a breaker style disconnect. So to get this open, we're gonna turn this off right here. Lift up on the bottom, and then kind of wiggle it out of the way once we release this tab. So this is the inside of the AC disconnect. You'll notice we have our power coming in and our power which is coming to this unit. Just to make sure we're completely safe, we are going to verify that power is completely off. So we are off coming through here. So we are now good to work on the system. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to make sure we get these out here. This is our power coming from the electrical panel, which is bringing all of our power into the AC unit. So we now have these out here on these specific types of surge protectors, which this is the nice fancy look of it. These are cool. These are actually see-through, so you can see everything working that's doing its job to protect this unit. So we're going to go ahead and get this opened up so that way we have somewhere to put this in. All right, now we have an opening. Go ahead and get this on there and make sure we're nice and tight and completely waterproof so we're not messing up any integrity on this box here. So we'll go ahead and feed through these in here. We're going to make sure that this is secured nice and tight. We're not going to have any water getting inside of here, keeping any of the critters out. A lot of the times we'll see lizards inside of these when we're not sealed up correctly. We'll use our fun flathead trick to get these lock nuts put on nice and tight. All right, once we're nice and tight, we're gonna hold that there, and then we're gonna get that straightened up. So now we can see our nice model number. We have our indicator lights. Everything's ready to go, except for the wiring up part, which is what we're gonna go ahead and take care of right now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this all wired up, so that way we can go ahead and start protecting this AC unit. Strip our wire back. You always want to make sure you're picking up your trash as you're going. Nobody wants to come home to a dirty yard. So these are rated to be put on screws, what we call double lugging, 2 wires under one. However, this box is not rated for it. So what we're going to do, we're going to use some extra wire. We're going to do what we call a pigtail connection. So that way we're installed correctly, both for this manufacturer's specifications, this manufacturer's specifications, and above all else, our national, state, city, and jurisdictional codes and regulations. So we'll go ahead and get this put in real quick. So we have 2 lines coming out. We'll match that up with these 2 lines here. Get them sized out. Get these cut back and stripped. All right. And then we're gonna get our extension wire, which is here. Get this stripped out as well. This is a personal opinion. Some people like to go these wires and then add that. So once we have a good tight wrap up around everything, we are going to cut off the excess. We want to make sure that we limit as many loose spots as possible. These are all copper coming together. These have a nice tin coating. Helps out with heat, helps it being outside, keeps everything working really good. So we'll get this nice and tightened up. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to double check it. Check each connection, just like we were doing over in the electrical panel. Make sure we eliminate any chances for anything being loose. So we'll get this put back in all nice like so. And then we'll bring our wire up to our disconnect and we'll get this put back in to that terminal up on top. And then just like our grounding, our outlets, all of that, we want to make sure we have a nice firm connection here. Give a tug test. We are good to go on that side. And then we'll get this other side finished up real fast. All right, tug test again. Make sure we are good there. All right, and then our last jumper. And then I'll run the marathon around to the breaker, get power turned back on, meet you back y'all over here, and we'll look at everything turned on, running, and we'll get a nice breeze coming off the unit here. Finished running around, so we have power back on. It is bright and sunny today, so it might be a little hard to see. We do have a wonderful green indicator light, which you can see in there. If it does hit nighttime, you got a nice lighthouse going on. So our surge protector is wired in, directly the power coming in to this, then to the unit. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the unit back on. So first things first, we're gonna get our bag off, make sure we didn't leave any tools on here, get some pine needles out, and then we're gonna turn on the system. So make sure you call a licensed electrician for all of your work. Stay safe, be careful, and call Abacus, because you can count on us.
Abacus, you can count on us.